Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Clijsters suggests Coco Gauff made a big mistake before Wimbledon even started. I was actually surprised. Coco Gauff suffered the biggest shock in the early stages of Wimbledon, having crashed out in the first round. Gauff hit 9 double faults in her meeting with Diana Yastremska, who won their Wimbledon encounter 7-6, 7-3, 6-1. She was the second seed at the grass court Grand Slam, which Gauff entered after a defeat in her opening match in Berlin. But that loss came directly after the WTA No. 2 clinched her second Grand Slam title, having triumphed at the French Open. She defeated world No. 1 Aryna Sabalenka in the Roland Garros final, having beaten the same opponent in the 2023 U.S. Open final. Clijsters thinks Coco Gauff made a mistake before Wimbledon started, but four-time Grand Slam champion Clijsters believes the player did make a mistake before making the trip to Wimbledon. Clijsters watched Novak Djokovic beat Alexander Muller and has now said of Gauff's loss on BBC Sounds, "The one thing on Coco's and that she can do a bit differently from yesterday, and I was actually surprised after the French Open. I was there for a few days, and I flew back to the States to where my family is, and I saw Coco. Not that she is not allowed, but she was doing the morning shows and the late-night shows and the NBA and WNBA games. There's a choice you make, right, at some point? If you know that grass and it takes you a little bit of time to adjust to the surface, maybe that wasn't the smartest decision. Maybe that extra week or a few extra days of practice on the surface could have made a bit of a difference to feel more comfortable out there. She is still so young, and she can learn from decisions and choices that you make. But sometimes I wonder with agencies and making decisions to do promotions and things like that, if it's always in the best interest of the player." What is Coco Gauff's Wimbledon record after shock first-round loss? As Clijsters mentioned, Gauff is still in the very early stages of her career, with the 21-year-old certain to get better with time. She has shown her maturity on and off the court time and again despite her youth, but perhaps more practice on grass would have been a very wise decision. Legendary figure Clijsters didn't quite get over the line at the All England club, but the Belgian certainly knew what it took to clinch major success. The former world number 1 won 4 of her 8 Grand Slam finals, with all 4 of those victories coming on hard courts. For Gauff, plenty of factors were very likely behind her shock defeat at Wimbledon, including the very impressive display from her opponent. Yastremska deserves huge praise for her performance and general handling of the match, although the pressure was undoubtedly on Gauff. All eyes were on the American at Wimbledon following her French Open triumph, and not many people would have predicted such an early exit. Whether or not her off-court adventures in the United States played a part will never be known, but it does seem that change is needed for her next Wimbledon attempt. Gauff already has plans for Wimbledon 2026, but still has plenty of opportunities for further career success before then. Importantly, she mustn't let her latest setback overshadow her superb efforts on the court in recent times. The grand build-up. Paris Euphoria versus Wimbledon Blues. In early June 2025, Coco Gauff etched her name into history by capturing her second Grand Slam title at Roland Garros. Buoyed by this victory, she entered Wimbledon with renewed belief. She spoke fondly of her 2019 debut run to the 4th round, hoping finally to close the circle. "I feel like it would be like the start of a dream, a full circle type of situation." That triumph in Paris boosted her confidence, but also came with a hidden cost. 2. A pivotal judgment call. Too soon? Savvy insights from seasoned pros. Former WTA pro Rennie Stubbs noted that Coco's transition from clay to grass lacked vital preparation. Too few practice matches on grass, too little adaptation time. Stubbs emphasized that the pre-match draw also spelled trouble. Coco landed against Diana Yastremska, a nightmare opener for any grass basher. Grass season squeeze. The grass swing demands lightning-fast adaptation. Gauff did get one warm-up tournament in Berlin, but crashed early. With less than 2 weeks between the French Open and Wimbledon, she admitted struggling to recalibrate her game, especially the forehand and serve. 3. The first-round bombshell. A stunning shock exit. On July 1, 2025, Newcomer Diana Yastremska stunned the tennis world. Ranked number 42, Yastremska dismantled the world number 2 with crisp ball striking. 7, 6, 3, 6-1. Raw self-analysis. At the post-match presser, Gauff admitted, "I think I didn't serve that well, changing my playing style difficult. I didn't have enough time to celebrate and also get back into it." 4. Kim Clijsters speaks. A big mistake before it began. Clijsters' frank perspective. Kim Clijsters, 4-time Grand Slam champion, underscored that Coco's major misstep was failing to carve out sufficient grass court prep time. That miscalculation, she contended, was glaring, especially when the draw pitted her against a grass-suited opponent. Why this mattered? Clijsters explained, "Grass demands tiny tweaks that can't be rushed." Gauff's decision to not play additional tune-up events, e.g., more matches in Berlin or other warm-ups, left her ill-equipped. It wasn't just a physical gap. It was a strategic and psychological one. 5. The tactical reality, a nightmarish draw. The Yastremska factor. Stubbs highlighted how Yastremska's style, powerful serve plus return plus RPO, serve plus 1, exploits grass's low bounce. Against a jittery Gauff, whose forehand was her weakest wing on grass, and who committed 9 double faults and 29 unforced errors. The result was nearly prescripted. Mental vulnerability. Facing a seasoned power player with less preparation saps confidence. By the tiebreak in set 1, Gauff was feeling the pressure. Once the rhythm broke, it unraveled quickly in the second set. 6. What could have been adjusted? Grass-fit scheduling. Pro insiders like Pam Shriver urged incorporating slice, tweaking forehand spacing, and heating grass-specific strategies. Philstar.com. ArabNews.pk. Gauff herself, in her Vogue interview, admitted grass is a trial-and-error surface requiring aggressive play and bigger serves to cope with its nuances. EssentiallySports.com. Serve and placement. Tracy Austin and others have long flagged Gauff's serve and forehand consistency as the pillars that need upgrading on grass. EssentiallySports.com. 7. Aftermath. Learning and future focus. Gauff's personal commitment. The American vow changes. "I definitely need to make some changes if I want to be successful here." Clijsters' supportive tone. Clijsters didn't tear into her. It was constructive. Preparing better isn't criticism, it's mentoring. She believes with smarter prep and targeted grass training, Gauff can conquer Wimbledon one day. 8. Creative reflections. The big mistake scene. Let's evoke the drama. Opening scene, Paris. Cheers erupt as Gauff hoists the clay court trophy. Emotion, relief, and a calendar ticking ominously toward Wimbledon. Montage. Jet lag, quick physical sessions, a truncated Berlin appearance. Coaches flip through grass tactics. On-court drills clash, flat hitters versus slice architects. Climactic reveal, draw announcement, Yastremska. Faces drop. Match day, center court. Sun, slick grass sheen. Coco's serve screams less, her forehand flags. Yastremska punishes every miscue. The scoreboard flashes 6-1. Suddenly, the French glow feels distant. Turning point. Back in press zone, a stone-faced Gauff reveals she simply didn't allocate enough time to adjust. Clijsters, watching, nods knowingly. That was the mistake. 9 broader tennis lessons. Surface discipline. Winning on clay doesn't equate to grass prowess. The proximity in the calendar invites danger. Gauff's misstep underscores the need for surface-specific buildup, not just cosmic momentum. Mental architecture. Tenacious spikes in confidence, 2 Grand Slams, are splendid but fragile. The drawing board pre-match matters as much as the racket. The Clijsters blueprint. Kim Clijsters, a savvy all-court pro, embodies the transition strategy. She carved success consistently through seasons by meticulously building for surfaces fraught with quirks. 10. What's next for Gauff? Lessons ingested. Gauff understands. She needs more grass matches, serve evolution, forehand fortitude, and psychological rituals to reprogram brain sets post-win. Road ahead. The U.S. Open beckons on hard court, a playground she knows well. But Wimbledon 2026? That will be her true test. Learned humility plus strategic planning plus raw talent equals major promise. Final thought. Kim Clijsters' sharp insight that Coco Gauff's key mistake was not giving herself enough grass court runway cuts to the heart of tennis. Talent must be married to planning, surface to strategy, grit to preparation. Gauff's journey isn't over, perhaps. With that lesson, her Wimbledon redemption arc is just beginning. Book sources and further reading. Patterns of Gauff's prep, Stubbs, Petkovic, Yastremska matchup. Gauff's reflections and regrets. Tactical adjustments and grass concerns, Austin Shriver.